So I was doing some thinking, everybody, like pondering on this. I go back and forth with some of these guys in comments on YouTube, Twitter, and everybody, not everybody, obviously, but there are those NPCs, if you will, saying the same things and have an issue with how I feel about Marvel tokenizing these characters, certainly within their Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is not something exclusive to Marvel. You get DC characters that get tokenized as well. And by that, when I use the word tokenize, I'm referring to one or two different things. You have a character that exists solely to be representative of some sort of like minority group or demographic like that. And then you have, which the one I speak about the most, in a classically, let's say, white character, as an example, gets turned into a black character, be it in just a copy of them in the comic, like a Miles Morales or whatever, which is just tokenized Spider-Man, or crossing into live action. So you have a classically white character in the comics, but when they depict them in live action, they are black. So unoriginal stuff. And I was just doing some thinking, right? When you think about it in the current Marvel Cinematic Universe, in terms of film, right? Outside of the Black Panther family and the movie, those are really the only original legitimate black characters that have been being treated as original black characters. All the other ones, for the most part, and give or take, there are some others, are just tokenized versions of previously established white characters in the comics. Going down a list, you take a guy like Nick Fury, which is everybody's favorite tokenized character. Everybody says, well, this is, they changed him to Samuel Jackson. It worked out. This was good. This was a good thing. Still an original character. Doesn't matter what you have to say about that. They created him in the Ultimate Universe. His name is Nick Fury. Everybody knows the original Nick Fury was not a black guy. Yes, they modeled him after Samuel Jackson, but he still was originally white. They didn't call him something else. He called him Nick Fury. And they created even a situation now for those that aren't up to, all you guys just Google on fandom websites anyway, so you don't read any comics, the normies that is. They created a weird sort of situation where they brought in Nick Fury Jr., another Nick Fury, into the main continuity, the main universe that looks like the same one that was modeled after Samuel L. Jackson. But he's the son. Yes, he's black, but he's the son of the white Nick Fury, the Nick Fury that we all were familiar with over the years. So, again, tokenized Nick Fury is what he is. You can say what you want. That's just what he is. He's not an original character. You may like him. You may even like him better than the previous one. Still a tokenized character. Doesn't matter. So you got Nick Fury, everybody's favorite tokenized character. Here you go in Rhodes or Rhodey, War Machine. All he is Black Iron Man. He was brought in as Black Iron Man. I don't think a lot of people realize that he was not, when he was first created, it took like 13 years before he became War Machine. And obviously War Machine is just a tokenized version of Iron Man anyway, but he was Iron Man before he was War Machine. He was brought in as a tokenized Iron Man. That's what he was brought in as in the comics. He's not an original character in that sense. Now you can say he has his own identity, he's wearing his suit and such and such. I get all that. But he's still largely modeled after OG Iron Man, Tony Stark. So you have Rhodes. Again, another character you may like. Fine. Doesn't mean that he's an original character. Again, I'm not making this shit up. He was literally brought in as, he wasn't brought in as War Machine. He was brought in as Iron Man. I believe he became Iron Man like two or three times before he ever became War Machine. Then you have Baron Mordo and Doctor Strange. That guy was tokenized. He was never, I believe he's like Romanian or some shit. Or like from Transylvania in the comics. Not black, obviously, but they brought him in as a black guy in the Doctor Strange movie. Then you have the Asgardians, Idris Elba playing Heimdall, and Tessa Thompson playing Valkyrie, which I believe Tessa Thompson's mixed, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that. But all those obviously classically white characters, not just classically white characters, the whitest of the white characters because they're based off of Norse mythology. So they're based off of Norse mythology. They are the whitest of the white. You can't get any more whiter than that, right? So again, I'm just naming off these random characters There's characters that I'm missing, obviously, but then you have MJ, right, which I just did a video on. Now, of course, she isn't Mary Jane Watson, but they're calling her MJ for a reason. It's to piggyback off of Mary Jane Watson's legacy. So in that sense, she's tokenized. She's not original. She may not be Mary Jane Watson, and I'll give you that. She's not. But in the same respects, they could have called her something else. It's funny. I was reading first appearance by way of Monica Rambeau, which I'll talk about here in a little bit, an Amazing Spider-Man. And I don't know if you guys remember, he did have a sort of love interest, Peter Parker did, in Glory Grant, which is right here. See if I get focused right here. Maybe I don't think Glory's mixed, so I probably wouldn't have liked it if she played her. But then, you got all of Peter Parker's love interest. This is really cool. I was just thinking about, wait a minute. Obviously, I knew Glory Grant before that, but I was just thinking like there was some cool sheet at the end of this issue, which I talked about before, that had a bunch of love interests, and there was a black one, obviously, in Glory Grant. She's not Glory Grant, obviously. She's MJ. MJ, not original, right? They couldn't just name her anything else. Even if she wasn't even based off of somebody in the comic, they could have named her something else. But no, they had to go with MJ, right? Of course. So tokenized MJ. And then you have, which hasn't developed, and I guess I can go ahead and mention this when I was talking about Monica Rambeau. You have some of these original black characters that get fucked up. Actually, let's start with Falcon, right? Falcon is the other original classically black character, and since then he's really sort of been handled as such. But now we have the end game, which he's about to become, like he did in the comics, tokenized Captain America. Apparently having his own sort of identity and his own moniker isn't enough, right? He has to go become another person's legacy, another character, and based off Steve Rogers, obviously. And I hated the shit in the comics. I fucking hated the shit in the comics. I'm like, leave this black original character. Like, damn, can he have his own identity like he's been having and develop that? I don't need him going to fucking become Captain America. So now he looks like he's about to be tokenized Captain America, and he got the shield at the end of England. So before that, you could have argued Black Panther and Falcon was largely kept as original characters. Original black characters, there was only one. So so now we have just the Black Panther family and those characters associated with him, because Falcon seems like he's about to become a Captain America. And then you got classically black characters, which are getting jacked up, like Monica Rambeau looking up to white Carol Danvers, a person that she's never been like affiliated with like that in the comics. She did not look up to no Carol Danvers or Marvel. She was only 5 years removed from, they're only 5 years separate, really. I believe in the late 70s, obviously, Ms. Marvel emerged with powers. So, Carol Danvers went like 10 plus years without having powers. And then she becomes Ms. Marvel. Then, like, right after that, Monica Rambeau is introduced, and she's a completely original character. Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, now, she's a tokenized Marvel. She's just female Marvel. That's all she ever has been. But not Monica Rambeau, who is an original black character. She was only Captain Marvel in name, and that was given to her by the public. There wasn't some name that she had handed down to her, and she was not a copy of Marvel. She's completely different power set, completely different, just superheroine, just completely different. Obviously, never looked up, didn't even know who the hell they were. They talk about it in something like the Avengers. I believe the first Avengers spot she has. Right after this, they're like, I might have been here. I can't remember when the Thing told her about, I believe the Thing told her about Captain Marvel, there being another Captain Marvel. It might have been in the first Avengers appearance that she had. And she was like, yeah, I remember the Thing. She was talking to Jarvis, and she was like, yeah, I remember the Thing telling me that. But she didn't know who he was. So they fuck her up. They fucked her up the worst. Like, completely removed the father out of the situation. Maria Rambeau is just appearing as a single mother, and she's way darker than what Monica Rambeau which alludes to the idea that she may be mixed. So the father may be white. And I even go with Rhodey. Rhodey, they fucking him up. Rhodey, again, who was already tokenized in the first place, believe it or not, he's become sort of a love interest with Captain Marvel. So they fuck her up. Now, yes, there's other, like if you include the like Netflix shows or whatever, you can say that there's some black characters in there and shit like that, like Luke Cage, who was one of my favorites, obviously. But in the films, just think about it. Think about those characters I didn't mention. They're largely brought in as copies, one way or another. They're copies or they're just completely tokenized. And when they crossed over in a live action film, they just put a black person to fill their role. And then they diversity, yes, and inclusiveness, yeah, slay. So, it's insulting. It's fucking insulting when you consider that. Just think about it. I know most of y'all have probably never thought about, like, damn, the black characters, and they keep championing this diversity and inclusiveness, the black characters that they bring in are not original. The vast majority of them aren't original outside of the Black Panther film and family and Wakandans. Everybody else is just a copy of another character, other than the classically white character. But I'm supposed to, oh man, this guy he hates, he's a self-hater, he hates all of the black characters, and it's like, you fucking idiot. You not see this shit on my background all the time? All these damn black characters. I got fucking Brother Voodoo, who y'all never heard of. Blade. Fucking T'Challa. Luke Cage, Storm, Misty. Like, all of them are Bishop. They're all on my fucking wall. My favorite characters are black characters for the most part. I just want an original black character. That's it. I don't want no fucking hand-me-downs, bro. And that's what y'all champion. Your corporate media, yeah, slay. Look at Tessa Thompson and filling this role of very tokenized Valkyrie. They insult these motherfuckers and they don't even realize it. They don't even realize it because they've convinced them that they're doing something positive, right? They've convinced them that they're doing something positive. And hey, I know we've put these white characters through the grinders for decades. What do you feel about it? Instead of creating your own fucking original black character, what do you think about us just giving you this hand-me-down character that we've already put through the fucking grinder for years and everybody already recognizes? Why don't we just do that instead? Oh yes, look at these black people within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And now everybody's champion Ironheart because Iron Man's dead now. Everybody's champion Ironheart, who is tokenized Iron Man. So now we got two tokenized Iron Man, possibly, that are going to be brought into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But I'm the self-hater. Believe it, they call me the self-hater. They've convinced, they've insulted you, and you are too fucking stupid to realize it. Because they just say representation, inclusivity, diversity, and all of this dumb shit that you guys eat up. Meanwhile, the characters that they give you are fucking unoriginal. They're just copies of other characters, or they're just black people, or half black people, biracial people, like MJ, who's, I believe she's just as much as white as she is black. But nonetheless, they give you these characters to fill classically white roles. You fucking idiots, man. All I want is just original characters. And then I don't care about diversity in the first place. I don't give a shit. If there's a movie that calls for all, like Black Panther, which have like one or two white people in it, I'm fucking fine with that. I'm not calling for diversity for that. If they do an entire Marvel Cinematic Universe movie and there's no white people in it, I'm not calling for diversity. If they do one there's no black people in it, I'm not calling for diversity. It's about storytelling. It's about something legitimate. If they do a Fantastic Four movie, don't tokenize that. Let the first Marvel family be white. It's okay with that. But I'm probably sure they're gonna tokenize them like they've already did. They'll retcon them, say, Johnny's or Sue's adopted or whatever they'll do. They'll just make that happen instead of actually just leaving them white. So you'll get another hand-me-down. They say, well, it's about inclusivity. What about it's not for you. What about the little girls and the little boys that feel good when they see themselves? Yes. They see themselves as unoriginal fucking characters, and that's what they need to make themselves feel good about them. Congratulations, Hollywood. We need you guys to tell our kids to feel good about themselves. We need you to be that representation. They need to see you in order to feel good about themselves. Fuck off. Marvel Cinematic Universe is a fucking joke when it comes to this particular shit. They've handled a lot of things very well. This is one of the things that they've completely botched. They've completely botched, yet convinced a lot of people that they're doing positive things, even though they're fucking up characters. Congratulations, Marvel and your fucking overprotective corporate media who protects your Captain Marvels, which is a tokenized Marvel. Nonetheless, they fucked him up too. How you gonna tokenize Marvel and then tokenize Marvel himself? How the fuck? I ain't even go. I know that's not even on some black shit. I just want to end the video with that. Think about that. Tokenized Marvel is Miss Marvel, aka well now Captain Marvel. Tokenized OG Captain Marvel on the Marvel side, and then they tokenized Marvel and turning him into a white woman, old white woman. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is a fucking joke when it comes to this diversity bullshit. And they have said, guys like Victoria Alonso saying that they want to continue this shit. They want to focus on diversity and inclusiveness. So you're about to get these other fucked up tokenized characters or these goofy ass side characters that nobody asked for. Congratulations, Marvel. You're really helping a lot of black people, by showing them that, because again, right, Hollywood has to show us everything in order for us to feel legitimate about ourselves. And the way that they're doing that is by taking classically white characters and then handing them motherfuckers down to the black characters after they done put them through the grinder for decades, instead of just developing classically black characters, which they already have. A lot of them are on my fucking wall. Congratulations, Marvel.